Our next speaker is Dr. Hadi Soleimanpour. He is the chairman of the Center for International Research and Education in Tehran. This center is affiliated to the Foreign Ministry in Tehran. He is a professor of international environment and development at the School of International Relations. He obtained his PhD on the same subject from Durham University in UK. He is a committed environmentalist with outstanding experience in international affairs as a career diplomat, ambassador to Spain, Paraguay, Argentina, to the UN offices in Geneva, and deputy head of Iran's Department of Environment for Natural Environment and Biodiversity. He has also been Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for Africa and a scientific member of the High Council of Environment of Iran. His research interests include international environmental issues, regional development and cooperation, and international relations. He has authored several books and articles in English and Farsi, including Nature-Based Tourism, a draft international covenant, international environment governance, global trends and national priorities, among others. Dr. Soleimanpour is going to talk to us about political transformation in West Asia, Iranian perspective. Please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ambassador Karakhan, dear colleagues in panel, dear audience, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a great pleasure for me to address such distinguished audience. There is no doubt that we are living in an epoch-making time in international politics with both threats and also opportunities and hopes. The ongoing global and the regional emerging trends represent a transition to a new international system. Although many developments have already occurred in the world, but the contending image concerning the future indicate that there is still no inter-subject consensus about the post-transitional global order. However, the post-Cold War international system is characterized with different features, including redefinition of meaning, concepts and discourse, diversification and polarization of the international actors, the rise of emerging power, return of religion, revival of the ideational factors like civilizations, cultures, norms and values, and of course increasing of the role of the people and civil society, etc. The recent economic and geopolitical development accelerate the rise of non-Western actors and the ongoing shift of power from the West to East. The gradual erosion of the Western world's global hegemony lies at the center of this process. Many researchers believe that due to the changing constellation of world power and redistribution of role and influence, the Euro-Atlantic geopolitical center of power no longer enjoy its traditional supremacy and standing in international politics in comparison to the 20th century. In such fluid environment, all states, small, medium, or regional power, have the possibility to make a role in regional and international politics. The relationship between the volume of military power and its efficiency and influence has been changed. The military power is no more representing the connotation of power. Nature and concept of power international level has been modified to the combination of course, military, economic, scientific and technological power, distribution of the information, and consensus building. It is also noteworthy that in the traditional period of international order, states are not the only exclusive players, and civil society and non-state actors have important position in internal and regional politics. The evolution of world politics is suggestive of the fact that international system is not only about the real and imaginary conflicts, but also about collective and constructive cooperation, while the possibility of forming new coalition is increasing. They are more fragile and temporary, based on rapid change of interest of different players. At the same time, main regional players should notice that there exists significant opportunity to cooperative interaction in the various fields. On the other hand, Asia is the geopolitical center of gravity and focus of the strategic shift in international system. Accordingly, the rise of the newly emerging Asian powers marks a step towards a realization of Asian century in the world politics. The West Asia is an integral and indivisible part of this historical turn in global system. The West Asia represents one of the most important regions of the world in terms of culture, geopolitics, strategy, and economy. Another remarkable characteristic of the current period is the disparity between global dynamics and the existing state of affairs at regional level. In other words, while the international order is in transition, the regional international order in West Asia remained intact. The regional international system of Asian diverse region in bipolar era can only be understood in the context of their struggle for independence and the influence role of external power. Many regions in Asia, including West Asia, still exercise this environment and suffer from latter understanding. Until recently, many establishments in our region did not appreciate the notion of fundamental transformation in international order, or prefer prevailing its impact to the West Asian region international system. In such circumstances, the national and regional values have been ignored. The voice of the people and their legitimate demand have been suppressed in some part of the region. The development of democratic institutions and the rule of law have been refused. Human rights and the rights of minority groups have been disregarded, and basic security concept, which in my view is human security, has been neglected. And of course, governance in many parts of Middle East and North Africa have been failed, which we called it failed governance. Inefficiency of this system has been proved by unexpected and tremendous response of people on Arab street. They simply reject this situation. So in my interpretation of situation, the main cause of recent uprising in Arab world roots in different enduring challenges, the lack of political independence, ignoring regional values, popular deficit, and absence of accountability and transparency in the current transitional period, of course at regional level. Comprehending the new emerging trend and interpreting the requirements and imperatives of the popular movement in the region will not only serve the existing governments to cope with domestic matters, but also assist them to provide new security paradigm for region. As you're well aware, the security concerns are the cornerstone of any international and regional order. Therefore, similar to security arrangement in transitional period of international order, regional international order in the same period requires new framework for interregional security. The existing experience and achievement provide international community with the concept of comprehensive security, which as a conceptual approach deal with the core values and interests of every region. As a matter of fact, until recently, the model for regional security and stability in many parts of West Asia, including Eastern Middle East, has been based on competition, rivalry, and bloc formation. Because of geographic and demographic asymmetries of the region, in a competitive scenario and a traditional security paradigm, smaller states tend to rely on external powers and or attempt to purchase security through financing the war machine of neighborby states, while some states in the region still interested in this approach, it would foster new imbalances and provide the capability of unrealized, unstated, or concealed ambition to surface and manage the region. In the changing political environment of the region, in transitional period of international order, it is extremely difficult to conceptualize sustainable security with the aid of one particular theoretical approach. Almost all schools of thought and traditional security theories of the 20th century fail to provide with an adequate explanation to the need and requirements of Asian security system, including West Asia and Eastern Middle East. Although there is a great endeavor in Eastern Middle East of the pursuit of shared ideas, it is decisive to frame a comprehensive security according to the regional values while observing global lands. First step, therefore, on Eastern Middle East security system is recognition, appreciation, and introduction of common values regionally. States in our region are bound together by uniquely unifying power of religion, founded on principle of unity in monotheism, a commandment of peace, solidarity of all believers, respect for the empathy toward all human beings, and recognition of the single essence of all beings. Upon moral values together with other culturally rich, environmentally viable, economically sound, and socially tangible values, our region could underline guiding principle to provide a constructive environment for creation of regional sustainable security bases. In connection to this approach, regional power in West Asia could assume more responsibility and initiate a broader and more open security debate in their countries in order to bolster new directions taken by their foreign and security policies. Regional power can also assume new regional responsibility to reduce mutual mistrust among themselves and enhance confidence in the region. The history of cooperation in our region illustrates that although there is recognition for the need of sub-regional cooperation, but any framework will work only if states in the region view it as integral and perceiving their security and serving their economy and political interests while originated within the region. Both historical evidence and contemporary experience demonstrate the notable aspiration of our people in the region to peaceful coexistence. Despite some asymmetries, Iran and its neighbors in Persian Gulf region are of compatible size. Our consumer population and GDP per PPP are relatively similar, and value of non-oil trade is significant. While we own large energy resources, this compatibility in economic weight indicates that a regional framework among us should not unduly bias toward any one direction. Afghanistan, of course, is another area of common regional interest. Issues such as terrorism, extremism, drug trafficking, refugees, and regional stability has also transformed this country into an area of common threats. Although Afghanistan is a land country, but its location at the crossroad between South Asia, Central Asia, and Persian Gulf is affecting directly or indirectly the stability and security of those three regions. There will be no promising security arrangement in the region without taking into account the Afghanistan crisis. Properly addressing these issues will be an essential element of sustainable security in our region after 2040. The past experience indicates that ignoring this issue could intensify rivalry and deteriorating regional situation, and beyond it. The regional countries could play a critical role in shaping security and development in Afghanistan. Security and development are two interrelated factors in Afghanistan. All regional countries, including Iran and India, could shape a new pattern of cooperation in the future Afghanistan. May take 2-3 minutes more, sir.
Sure.
Thank you. Furthermore, it is worthy mentioning that Iran, as an exceptional example, may share its experience like India with the region. As you are aware, for the last 110 years, Iran's nation has been fighting for freedom and has always been trying to introduce their will and demands to power and reinforcing the rule of law. From Iranian constitutional revolution in 1905 called Mashruta and changing absolute monarchy to constitutional one, from Mossadegh struggle against Shah dictatorship to Islamic revolution and nations strived for independence, Iran has always been a pioneer in defending democratic process based on regional values and respect to the people's idea in our region. This approach has its consequences for our nation as well. From introducing Reza Shah to the power by West in 1930s up to CIA coup d'etat against Mossadegh national government in 1960s, from full-scale support of Saddam's war against Iran in 1980s up to unlawful and unfair unilateral sanctions to overshadow the quality of life of Iranians based on their because of their technological achievement, from securitization of Iran's national politics upon to development of regional blame game against Iran, all are nothing but the price that Iranians have to pay for their perseverance to uphold their outstanding values and their regional pioneering role in this regard. Iran is to be blamed because Iranians have been always ahead of their time. May I conclude my remark by saying that Iran is an integral part of West Asia, and Iranian security is connected, defined, and shaped by nature of security development in this volatile part of the world. Iran is of the view that bilateral and multilateral cooperation between all the nations in Eastern Middle East are important. In this respect, Iranian-Indian interaction in different areas which have root in the history may serve mutual interest and contribute in designing regional cooperation. I thank you all. Thank you, sir.